Hi. The release of the controversial PvZ Replanted remaster wasn't received very warmly, but it still added a lot of new gameplay content, in particular, the R.I.P mode. It's basically a harder version of adventure mode with a permadeath feature, meaning that if you lose on any level, you'll have to start all over again. On top of that, in this mode there's only one lawn mower for the entire lawn, and it spawns on a random lane every level. If you think this mode isn't that hard, you're wrong, and today you'll see why. I'm going to play through the R.I.P mode and even compare it to some of the hardest PvZ mods. Let's not waste any time. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and let's start the video. Let's begin our playthrough. I turn on R.I.P mode and start the first level, and immediately start doing some dumb stuff. For some reason, I thought it was a good idea to plant repeaters right away instead of regular pea shooters. Of course, that didn't end well. There were too many zombies, I ran out of sun, and I managed to lose on the very first level. But that's fine, losing on level 1 isn't that bad. It'll be much more painful if I lose on the final one. On the second try I played smarter, first planting pea shooters, then repeaters, and a torchwood. And that strategy worked perfectly. The second level was exactly the same, no changes at all. On level 3, a conehead zombie appeared. That made things a bit trickier, but torchwood is just a broken plant. Level 4 felt like a copy of level 3, seriously, no difference. It still feels like you're just replaying adventure mode. Level 5, the walnut bowling minigame. I'd like to say it was easy, but nope, the zombie waves got much stronger, and I even slowed the level down so I wouldn't lose by accident. Especially after the second wave, it got intense. But if you take it slow, it's manageable. On level 6, the pole vaulting zombie appeared, kind of ironic. I never realized he actually has as much HP as a conehead zombie and moves twice as fast. But whatever, that's nothing compared to level 7. That one had 3 waves and a much heavier zombie rush. With poor defense, you could easily lose, but I'm a pro, so I beat it no problem. Level 8 introduced the buckethead zombie. And you know, I always thought he was super dangerous and required a ton of pea shooters, but in reality, 3 pea shooters handle him just fine. Level 9 was objectively the hardest one so far. All zombie types from the area appear, and there are 3 waves, but torchwood and pea shooters melt them instantly. Then comes the conveyor belt level, super easy. Just turn on 2.5x speed and plant whatever the conveyor gives you. And now, the night stage. Fear, tension, atmosphere, all that. The first level went very smoothly, and I relaxed a bit too much. On the second level, instead of planting puff shrooms, I decided to go for expensive fumed shrooms. I honestly didn't expect so many buckethead and conehead zombies that early, and because of my genius strategy, I didn't last long and lost. Not on the final world, but still 40 minutes of progress gone, and I had to replay the entire day stage to catch up again. But I got smarter. I came up with a much more effective strategy. I started using gloom shrooms, which I think are the most overpowered plants in the game, and focused more on puff shrooms from the very start. On level 3, a screen door zombie appeared, but with my setup he posed no threat at all. I improved my strategy a bit more by protecting gloom shrooms with pumpkins. On level 5, the pole vaulting zombie joined the mix, but just look at my defense, it's literally impossible to lose like this. Level 5 was the whack-a zombie minigame, not much harder than in adventure mode, though it got tense near the end. I still beat it. Level 6 introduced the football zombie. Surprisingly, he wasn't that much of a problem, even though I expected worse. But that piece didn't last long. By level 7, they started spawning much more actively, but my defense was so solid one didn't even need to use any support plants to take them down. On level 8, Disco Zombie appeared, far from the most dangerous type, so I cleared that stage easily. Level 9, surprisingly, wasn't even the hardest one. There were a lot of zombies, but Fume Shroom's piercing attack made quick work of them. Level 10, another conveyor belt stage. Honestly, this is the first time I've ever beaten it with such perfect symmetry. Usually I just place plants randomly, but this time everything looked neat and clean. And finally, the pool stage. I'll be honest, this one can get tough. For it, I chose a strategy built around cattails, which are super overpowered too. Plant just one, and basically your whole lawn is protected. The first level went smoothly. On the second level, the football zombie appeared again, but my defense handled him easily. Can't say the same for the snorkel zombie that shows up on level 3. To deal with him properly, you need walnuts, and I didn't manage to place one in time once. Thankfully, there was a pool cleaner on that lane, or I'd have to start all over again. After that, I started placing walnuts early, and that was definitely the right move. Level 5, the Big Trouble, Little Zombies minigame. I didn't speed it up, since that can end badly here. Unlike in adventure mode, this version gives you very few pea shooters. I only managed to plant a full row by the second wave. Until then, I had to rely on cherry bombs, which the conveyor gave out generously. After the second wave, things got very intense. Tons of zombies, but then the conveyor started handing out pea shooters much more often. In the end, I beat the level without much trouble. On level 6, the Zamboni appeared. I'd like to say it was hard, but no, still easy. Level 7 turned out a bit harder. There were 4 waves and a lot of really annoying zombies. By the end they even slightly broke through my defense, which hadn't happened before, but everything worked out. On level 8, the Dolphin Rider zombie showed up, and to stop him from causing trouble, I started using tall nuts. Level 9 wasn't difficult despite the 4 waves. I expected worse, but no. Can't say the same about level 10, the conveyor level. Yeah, who would have thought, but it was this level where I almost lost. Everything started normally. I didn't expect anything bad to happen. But suddenly the water lane got breached, and I had the level sped up too. After that I completely lost focus and couldn't rebuild defense properly. By the end, it was pure chaos. I genuinely thought I had lost, but somehow, by a miracle, I managed to kill the zombies and pass it. Now we're in the fog stage, level 1. Here, I decided to use the same strategy but slightly adapted for nighttime. And while you watch the gameplay of the first level, I want to compare this mode to hard PvZ mods. Personally, I like this mode way more than any hard mod. Yes, it's definitely easier than them, but mods usually have no balance at all, which leads to insane difficulty spikes. Here, the balance exists, but what makes this mode truly hardcore is permadeath. If you lose, you don't just replay the level, you start from the very beginning. That creates massive tension, because the only way to get a second chance on a level is to reach it again from scratch. This mode strikes the perfect blend of balance and hardcore. In my opinion, it's the best mode in PvZ Replanted. On level 2, the football zombie appeared. The irony is that I can't even see what's happening in this fog, but it felt easy. Level 3 introduced the balloon zombie, but luckily cattails can shoot them down, so I didn't need to change tactics. Level 4, the Dolphin Rider shows up again, so I kept using tall nuts. Level 5, Vase Breaker. Nothing too hard, though the end got slightly tense because I didn't expect all the vases to contain zombies, but I handled it. On level 6, the Miner Zombie appeared. Again, Cattail is super versatile, so no tactic changes needed. On level 8, Pogo Zombie appeared, and in this mode he's actually dangerous, because he can easily jump over everything, and remember, there are no lawnmowers here. Level 10, my favorite, a conveyor stage. And once again, I completed it with perfect symmetry for the first time. It definitely felt harder, but I beat it. And now, the roof level. Losing here would be incredibly painful, and from what I'd seen, this would be the real nightmare. Level 1 was easy, same for level 2, those zombies were already chewing on my tall nuts. On level 3, the ladder zombie appeared, and by the end I almost lost. I honestly got nervous, because it was possible that the cherry bomb wouldn't kill all the zombies, but I was lucky. Level 4 introduced a lovely combo, football zombies plus pogo zombies. I knew this one would be rough, especially after seeing 4 waves. I didn't even speed it up, because I needed time to react and use support plants. I picked the wrong strategy and completely forgot that squash cannot kill pogo zombies, and in the dumbest possible way, I lost. Yes, the exact moment I feared the most, happened. I was so close to finishing the game, just a bit left, and I lost. Now I had to start all over again. I spent my earned money in Crazy Dave's shop, bought one more seed slot and a couple of plants I didn't even really need, and started from scratch. After a day of grinding, I returned to where I was, level 5 to 4, but this time I changed the strategy. I used 2 full rows of sunflowers. I added melon pulse and magnet shrooms. This strategy worked perfectly, and I beat the level easily. Level 5, the Chomper minigame. Honestly, I thought it would be very hard, but it was tolerable. And in the final wave there were barely any zombies. On level 6, the catapult zombie appeared. He's a bit annoying, so on the next level 1 decided to bring umbrella leaves. Better safe than sorry. On level 8, Gargantuar. Normally that's not a big deal, we've seen him tons of times, but here he appears very often, and I got nervous thinking about level 9. So, level 9. Everything started fine, I was placing plants, everything was going smoothly. Until 2 Gargantuars spawned, and then even a single imp crushed my entire defense on one lane. While the others damaged the neighboring lanes, everything started falling apart. I didn't want to give up. I fought to the very end and was kind of holding on, but deep down I knew I wouldn't pass it. I survived until the final wave, but simply ran out of sun, and unsurprisingly lost. And honestly, it hurt. A lot. The last level before the boss fight, I could have completed the entire mode, and now I had to restart everything. I was not happy about that, but I had no choice. I started again, bought the last seed slot, completed day, night, cool. Started the fog. And on the second level, due to my own stupid mistake, I lost again. For you, it's just a few seconds of montage. But I've spent a lot of time playing, and lost not on the early levels again. All in all, I've been trying to beat this mode for around 10 hours, and honestly, I'm tired of it. So I'm going to stop for now. R.I.P mode really can be harder than some hard mods, especially the roof stage, which is absolutely brutal here. Plants are expensive, the terrain is awkward, and zombies are very strong. I really wanted to see the boss fight, but I'm just too exhausted to keep replaying everything. Permadeath and no lawn mowers make the game way harder, even though I initially thought this mode was nothing and I'd beat it first try. I'll put this off for later, and if you enjoy this video, I'll finish the mode. And on that note, I'm ending the video. If you liked it, you can check out my other videos. Thanks for watching, good luck, and goodbye.